Chicago Bulls found their future franchise point guard moving forward. They just might have. What is going on, y'all? 5 Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA here to talk about my beloved Bulls, who were expected to be absolutely awful this season by many NBA experts, many NBA analysts, and the NBA media at large, including myself, who thought this team was going to be awful. And they were for a portion of the season, and now they've started to win a lot of games, of course, after the triumphant return of Nico Mirotic, in which now we have Nico and Bobby Portis as the best 1-2 punch in the league. No pun intended. They're playing like that. But I'm not here to talk about them. I'm here to talk about another player on the Bulls who's absolutely been phenomenal, especially over the past couple of weeks, and that is one Kris Dunn, folks. Okay, Kris Dunn, who the Bulls acquired in the Jimmy Butler trade. First and foremost, let me address that real quick. So I look back in my video that I made about that Jimmy Butler trade reaction, and like a lot of people, I did not like the trade too much for the Bulls, but only because I was not on board with the Bulls rebuilding. I thought they should have built around Jimmy Butler. I didn't think they should have built without Jimmy Butler, okay? And so that was really my premise, and obviously they didn't get Andrew Wiggins or Karl Anthony Towns, and in hindsight, they were never going to get him. Maybe Wiggins, but definitely not Cat. And they ended up getting Kris Dunn, Zach LaVine, and that 9th overall pick, which turned out to be Lauri Markkanen, and that's looking pretty good right now. And Kris Dunn was sort of like the afterthought. Nobody, including myself, thought Kris Dunn was going to be a big part of the trade. And early on in the season, him and Jerry and Grant were basically, you know, splitting the minutes, and I didn't really see too much difference in them until Kris Dunn started getting healthier, started playing better, and then I'm talking the difference now. I mean, Kris Dunn has, and I'm not trying to exaggerate here. I hope I'm not trying to exaggerate, because I want to avoid what I did with the Jimmy Butler trade, because like I said, that was just me spilling my emotions, and I should have, in hindsight, you always think that. But Kris Dunn has become one of the better all-around point guards in the league, folks, okay? His ability on the offensive end is underrated, because a lot of people, when he came out for the draft, and he was a 5th overall pick, he was a very high draft pick, okay, for a reason. He was known as a defensive point guard, and now not only is he still elite defensively, his steals numbers are ridiculous, but he is able to show his offensive arsenal, okay? His stats on the season overall, they don't seem that great. I mean, he's averaging 13 points, 4.6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 0.4 blocks a game. I mean, they're okay, but it does show you his ability and his potential to post a all-around stat line, folks. You're basically looking at a 13, 5, and 6 type of stat line. Kris Dunn, you could see him averaging like maybe 18, 7, and 7. He's showing that potential, and of course, the steal numbers, 43% field goal shooting, 33% from the three-point line, 65% from the free throw line. I do want to see him improve there. 65% for a guard from the free throw line is just not cutting it, so he does need to improve there. But folks, I mean, I can't complain too much here, because like I said, my expectations for Kris Dunn were not that high, and he is proving me wrong, and I am glad to be wrong here, because like I said, I'm loving every second of it. Looking at his playing style, I mean, again, don't want to bring up this comparison, but the Bulls were at their best when their previous franchise point guard, Derrick Rose, at his best was able to penetrate and create, and that's what Kris Dunn does. He's really excelled in the pick and roll, really able to just get into the paint, drop and create and kick it out. He's always looking to pass and make the right pass, and that's what you want from your point guard, right? And here's the thing. As much as I like Kris Dunn attacking and being aggressive, you do want your point guard to still look for people, you know, that is the job of the guard. And so Kris Dunn is doing all that. Like I said, he's an all-around beast at this point. And he's been doing everything for the Bulls. He does a little bit of everything for this team, and I love it. And especially love it on the defensive end, because this is where Derrick Rose did not excel at all. He was one side of the ball player. Elite at that, but Kris Dunn is a two-way player, and that's what I love here. He didn't get playing time in Minnesota. A lot of people, including myself, did not look too much into this, but that was only because he was a rookie, and Tibbs, you know, does not like to play rookies. Even Jimmy Butler didn't get playing time in his rookie year with Tom Thibodeau. That is not to say he couldn't have gotten playing time if he was still on the Timberwolves this season and moving forward. I believe he would have gotten playing time. He's too talented. But now he gets all the playing time in the world on a rebuilding Bulls team, and he is showing you exactly what he can do. Folks, he is 23 years old, okay? The sky is the limit for this kid. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from Kris Dunn. Again, I did not want to sort of go all in and exaggerate and you know, have a hyperbole on how much I think Kris Dunn can do, but I'm really liking what I see. And there's no reason for me to not expect this moving forward because, like I said, even though it is a small sample size, I think these are skills that can translate, okay? It's not like he's shooting crazy hot from the field and he can't keep it up, okay? Kris Dunn is doing what he is capable of doing, which is being an all-around beast, and hopefully he can keep this moving forward. Do I believe he is the franchise point guard moving forward? I believe he has that ability. Now, am I willing to go ahead and say that he is? I believe at this point you really have no choice. You have to let him have the reins, right? Because like I said, 23 years old, there's not a better point guard on the roster, and you're loving what you're seeing here. And the Bulls are winning, okay? They're winning. They can't even tank right, okay? So this is the best part and the worst part about it, because I actually wanted the Bulls. I didn't mind the Bulls to lose this season because I want them to get a high draft pick, but they can't even tank right. They can't even lose. They've won 8 out of their last 10 for crying out loud ever since Nico came back. But loving what I'm seeing from Kris Dunn, folks. So I am buying all in on Kris Dunn moving forward. And folks, let's look at the core of this team. You got Kris Dunn, Zach LaVine, Denzel Valentine's been playing pretty well. Of course, Bobby Portis has been balling out, and Lauri. I love Lauri. I thought Lauri was going to be okay. I didn't think he was going to be this good this quick, but he is proven to be as good as he was drafted. So I'm loving the core of this Bulls team, and Kris Dunn is at the head of the pack, I believe. With this play, he's showing he's the best. And let's see when Zach LaVine comes back what he can do. I'm all in on Zach LaVine as well. So let's see what happens, folks. It looks like the Bulls might compete for a low playoff seed. Good God. I can't believe this is actually happening. I mean, it's still a very long season, but they've won a lot of games lately, and Kris Dunn has played a huge role in it. I am all in on Kris Dunn. Let me know what you guys think about Kris Dunn. Leave a comment down below if you agree, disagree, why or why not. Make sure you guys subscribe, turn on your post notifications for more sports analysis and content. Keep it locked right here. Follow me on my social media down below. Link to my Twitter and Instagram for that. And as always, thank you for watching.